Welcome to Black Diesel Garage. I'm Gabe, and in this video I'm going to dismantle some parts off White Lightning and put them on the new Ford I bought, Brown Bull. That's what the previous owner named it. I think I'll keep the name. But I bought this truck. It runs all right, but I'm going to be clocking a lot of miles on this thing. I already have, and there's some things that I just need to change to make it a little more pleasant, a little more reliable, and work a little better for me. This truck, I ended up wrecking the front end of it, and it just needs some work. So I think I'm actually going to abandon it for a while, and then someday when I have a little more money and time, I'll come back and I'll go through everything and redo it and put an old like 76 cab on top of it and make it nice. But that being said, since it's going to sit for quite a while, I'm going to be driving this truck, which needs some parts changed. I'll take the parts that are a lot nicer off this and put on that truck. So I'll give you a look at what we're working on today here. So here's the crew cab. I haven't fully committed on this idea in my head yet, but I do need that tow bar, so I'm gonna chop off those brackets I welded on it. But these tires, they're new. I don't want this truck to sit around and rot on them. They're just a hair bigger than this tire, which I like a bigger tire. But right now, these tires have some good tread left on them. It'd take quite a bit of my time up to swap these tires on there on the back, and then I'd have to change rims on the front because that's a dually rim, that's a single tire rim. So it'd take me quite a bit of time in the tires, and I'm working pipeline in Arkansas right now. So it's springtime, soon will be summer. I'm going to be driving a lot of miles. It's two-wheel drive, so I would like the more aggressive tread, but I think just at the moment, I don't need a super aggressive tread on this truck. For the fact that it's summer, it should mostly be dry, and I'm gonna run a lot of highway miles because I gotta go get this other truck just about like this before we'll drive down in Texas. I'm gonna come to Kansas 2 or 3 times this summer, so I don't want to wear out the treads on this just highway driving when I don't even need them on this truck at the moment anyways. And if I took these tires off, they would not be going back on this truck. So I figured while I'm clocking down some miles and stuff, I might as well wear these tires out this summer and then swap to these tires. So my plan was to swap them over, but I'm gonna wait on that. In this truck, I was gonna leave the body the way it is, but I ended up was towing these 2 trucks. I have a video on it. I was using this truck to tow that truck, went in the ditch, truck spun around, bent up that front end, crunched this back corner. So now I'll probably take this bed, pull it off, put a flatbed, make the flatbed work out good for me. And then when I have the black 4-wheel drive version of this truck and it's running, I'll pull its bed off, slap it on this, take the bed I set up on this thing and put it on the other truck. And I will sell this truck with the box bed on it. But as for today, this bumper hangs down. I've broken the welds a couple times. This is just me welding on top and not good welds. And you can see mine are the greatest, but I was welding on welds that looked like that with all kinds of droopy stuff. So I was welding on bad material in a hurry, and I welded it once. Their welds broke. I welded over it. Their weld still broke beside it, so I put 2 beads over it. This is just laying outside in a driveway. And the welds underneath once again broke, and mine aren't the greatest either. So I probably need to clean all this up, weld them back. I don't know if I will get it done in this video, but I'd like to cut a hole in here and put a square tubing receiver hitch in here so I can go through a different balls and a clevis hitch and all that. This being messed up, pulled off the gas tank, so I need to reattach the filler neck. Need to unload the welder from rescuing that truck. But the main things I need to do with taking parts from that truck onto this truck today for comfort wise and making it more useful to me is nothing to do with the glow plugs. I will need to do the glow plug system on this truck so they work and it starts better. but the hydraulic master cylinder and slave cylinder are really weak and leak off a lot. So those are fairly new. I'm gonna throw those on this truck. Driving a lot of miles. Just in 2 days, not even full days of driving, I drove 1,600 miles the other day. So, I'm gonna swap out to the reclining split console bucket seat things out of that truck into this, because it'd be a lot more comfy for a lot of driving. So need the clutch, works, comfier seats for driving, and I need to put a radio and make an outlet work so I can charge my phone while I'm driving. At some point I need to get this tint off the windows and leave it no tint or put newer tint on it. Seats, clutch out of that. I was gonna do tires. I'm not gonna do tires at the moment. And then exhaust. I have this exhaust laying here, came off another truck. It needs welded or clamped or something. And it is not quite long enough for a crew cab probably. So I'll have to do some work about that. Or I have some big stacks. Let's see. Right above my finger there, you can see the tip of the stacks. Thought about dropping those stacks in the bed of this, but if I go to a welding bed, these stacks will not work very well, so I might just go through and do 3 or 4 inch, whatever that piping is, underneath the truck. So that way, once I swap out beds in a month or so, I won't have to pull the stacks off and get a put that exhaust underneath it anyways, because it'll have a welding bed, and usually your torch bottles go there. I'll probably buy a used bed, and stacks probably won't work. So I need to do something about the exhaust. It's like 2 or so inch pipe, 2 separate headers all the way, straight pipe. So right here underneath the bed, it's very noisy, turning everything black. So I need to do something about the exhaust. So I'm gonna go ahead and unload everything and get to swapping that stuff over. So let's get started. Alright guys, well I got a couple things done to the truck. I didn't film all of it because a buddy came over and I got to talking and didn't film some. I didn't get very much done. I still got a lot to do. But got the seat bolted in. That'll work out a lot better for driving a long distance than the bench seat, because you got someone driving with shorter legs, they scooch the whole bench up like my wife, and then I don't have room for my legs because the whole bench slides. Well, these slide independent. If we sleep in the truck, one of us while the other's driving, this reclines back, so it will work a lot better having these seats in here. I started putting the clutch off of this truck in there, and it mounts different. It's the same part, it just mounts different. So I got to run bolts through here, and I had to move the holes, so I just cut them with a torch, but I think everything should work out. Seat bolted in, that in, and that's about really all I've gotten done. I still need to weld the back bumper, and I got this exhaust, which I think I did film. I chopped a little section out of here that was all boogered up. There was a weird weld on the back, so I chopped that off. But it came out of an extended cab truck, so I need to make it longer for this crew cab. So I got some pieces of exhaust to lengthen it once I get it up in there. If it'll work, I think it should all work. It's out of a 4-wheel drive. I don't think that should change anything. I put the exhaust together, put it in there, put the bolts through that clutch, and I need to turn up the pump on the truck. I think that's about all I need to do to it. And make all the air pressure equal in the tires, because I don't think it is. Plus weld the bumper and put a hitch on it. So I'm gonna get to doing that. Alright guys, so I got the exhaust up under there. Here's the outlet. It had a weird flange welded on the end where I guess at one time they had a tip, but it's just the flange. So I cut that off and it sits in under the truck a bit. I don't like that, so I'll probably throw a tip on it at some point. Right now, just here and in the middle, there's baling wire holding it up. I wanted plumber's tape, but it was Sunday and everywhere was closed that had it. So I didn't do it with plumber's tape. Eventually I'm going to redo that with plumber's tape, not baling wire. It's kind of crude looking. Most of this work was already done. What I did, because it was in an extended cab truck, is I crudely welded that piece of pipe in there to make it the right length and reconnect it where it had been cut with a Sawzall. So now it's a full piece of exhaust. Right there, there's that flange on there, because there's 2 little holes in the bottom. I tried to weld them shut with the arc welder on 70 amps, and the stiffness turned all the way up. It would burn a hole. All the way down, it wasn't even hot enough to weld. So it's rusted out enough, it just burnt bigger holes. So I threw their crude clamp black on it. And that's going to stay like that for now. Eventually I'll cut it out and put a different piece of pipe, but not just yet. And there's some of my baling wire. But there is a better exhaust under here. Should hopefully be quieter. Goes from factory size, which is like 2-inch, to 3-inch, maybe 4-inch, probably 4-inch exhaust, I think. I did not measure it. So that's together. And then I took the master cylinder out of that truck. It was different with how it bolted, so I changed it all up. But it doesn't have enough pedal to even push the clutch in. I've bled it all the different ways you can bleed these. Won't work right. So I just ordered in a new one, and it'll be here tomorrow at 2:30. Which I was supposed to leave today and work tomorrow, but I did not get this tagged because I got the VIN inspection done, but didn't get it tagged because the DMV was closed. So I'll leave tomorrow after I go to the DMV, get this thing tagged, and then I gotta wait till 2:30 till that part is in. I'll just wait around all day for a part. So that's gonna be nice. So I put everything off and went to church this evening because I couldn't leave this evening anyways. I think what I'm about to do is turn it up and fix the rear bumper. I need to probably pull the bumper off, clean everything up, put it back on, the bolts in, get it all leveled up, and weld it. And I still have not done anything about the hitch. I don't think we have tubing here anyways. So, since I'll be waiting around tomorrow, I will probably cut it out, put some square tubing in here. I'll probably go buy some since I'll have time. I believe that's all I have left is to turn it up and fix the rear bumper and put the hydraulic clutch system in that I do not have the part for at the moment. So, got the exhaust done, and I don't know which two things, but without further ado, I will probably work on one of those two things. After some mental consolidation with myself on what to do next. But you guys will see that happening now. Alright guys, so I got the rear bumper on. Welds are definitely not the prettiest. I welded on top of my own slag for the second weld. But that will hold it. And it'll probably come off later anyways. But that will hold that. And then over here, same thing, did not clean my slag, welded right over it. Not pretty at all. But it will hold it. And that's all I need at the moment. I'm in a hurry is why I didn't clean my slag and stuff. I'm busy. I also welded up this hitch. Didn't clean the paint, didn't do nothing. You can see, didn't even change the welder settings. But it'll hold. We did turn up the pump last night. The footage from that, it was just a time lapse, probably not very good. I am gonna put this, kinda got a headache. I am gonna put this on here. I'm gonna throw some screws in real quick. That's not necessary, but that's happening. So I said that's not necessary, but it actually is because it looks good. And secondly, has a lot of these 80s trucks do, the bullnoses, the windshield leaks, so it might keep some water off the windshield, off leaking, but who knows. Well, sorry for the weird cutoff there at the end. I got the truck all together and I got it down to Arkansas. I was working out of the truck and driving it for quite a while, and I had to move locations. Here's my new location here, and as I was getting my camper here, the pump started going out on the truck, the injection pump. So now low RPMs do not work very well, and if I let off the gas quickly, it dies. High RPMs still work, but this will be another video coming up soon. I'm actually now gonna take this Toyota to Texas and try to flat tow the crew cab. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna use a tow bar. Use a tow bar to get the crew cab from Texas to here, Redfield, Arkansas. That is about 5 hours away. I'm going to use that to haul, and I'm going to try to get that truck here to either fix the Black Bull truck or take the pump off of it and stick on this thing to get me by. But the truck worked good and made a good work truck for a while until the injection pump went out. So more videos to come. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one on Black Diesel Garage. See ya.